everyone, and welcome back. This is Ginny from Polly's Paper Studio. Today I'm going to share with you my Happy Mail haul from the Funkie Junkie boutique. Now, part of this is a design team allotment, and then a portion of this is just products that I picked up because I'm preparing for our Halloween video series on YouTube. So I did want to make sure that I had plenty of really cool vintagey crafty supplies to work with. So let's go through those first. These are all the Tim Holtz ideology. This is like the Ephemera packs. So this is the smaller pack. There's lots of sentiments and fun vintagey images in there. These are just a little bit smaller, so great for tags or smaller projects or layering. This is the paper doll set, and there is so many pieces in here. This is going to go a long, long way. This is such a good assortment of fun vintagey images to add to my projects. This is the larger Ephemera pack, and I went through it a little bit to check it out, and they are either identical or very similar. There's many common pieces from one to the other, just one is a little bit smaller. So this might be better for a card size, I think, or a larger project. And there's a lot of retro and vintage inspired cutouts and labels and lots of fun layering pieces. I've got the worn wallpaper, and I did take this out of the package and didn't put it back in correctly, so I ripped the packaging, but I can flip through these since they're out. Beautiful toned down vintagey floral inspired wallpaper images, and they're just one-sided, but they've got a really cool texture to them. So I think if you were to add some inks and that type of thing, it would really give you an interesting look. I like this one a lot for Halloween. Lots of really nice patterns, and there's two of each, so you'll be able to finish the insides of your projects like I do with the coordinating pattern papers. Got the Ideology paper stash. This is abandoned, and it is really beautiful. These are double-sided in this pack, and the patterns are very grungy looking. There's a lot of typography in here, more of that wallpaper inspired sort of pattern, and kind of vibrant but vintage at the same time, which is I think hard to pull off, but it's a really good collection for Halloween cards, especially if you like to layer them as I do. So that is a nice selection. Look how cool that is. I picked up the chip quotes as well. I'm not going to open this because they're going to go everywhere, but these will be just a great way to add some dimension and texture and some sentiments to my projects. There's quite a few in there. And last but not least, for Halloween, I picked up this clear stamp. This is a Prima stamp with a checkerboard that has a typography in the back, so I'm excited to use that as part of a mixed media background. I mentioned the Halloween series, which I've not decided exactly what day, but it is starting next week. So it's starting the last weekend of September and then going into October. And that will be a lot of fun. We have many very special projects planned for that, so I'm looking forward to that. So I've also picked up some flowers here. A couple match this collection. This one I just liked the colors on and the pretty jewels in the center, and that's just to add some detail to my cards. And these go with the Autumn Sunset collection, and they're just really beautiful leaves and some dimensional flowers with gold accents. The Autumn Sunset collection, I went with the A4 tablet because I can get a lot of use out of this for card making, and it just has, I don't know, will that focus on that? Some pretty cut apart cards and some muted backgrounds, lots of pumpkins, so it's very appropriate for fall with very shabby chic inspired flowers. Here's cut aparts, there's foxes. I really like those individual pieces that you can section off to use as focal images. And then the butterfly, which is pretty iconic, I think, for Frank Garcia. That plaid is amazing. There are some florals and some larger of that background pattern. I also picked up the Ephemera Pack. It's much lighter than when I received it because I've made a couple of projects out of it, but lots of pretty pumpkins and woodland creatures and butterflies and some backgrounds. I don't want to get that out because it'll make a mess. I picked up a couple collections from Stamperia as well, and this one is Wonderland, not anything to do with Halloween. I just really liked the color tones in this, the pinks and those pretty blues. These are double-sided again in 12 by 12 sized. She puts a lot of typography in there. There's fairies and flowers and some larger focal images and some smaller cut aparts as well. So this will be a beautiful collection to make some shabby chic and vintagey projects. I love these tags. Those are really beautiful. I've also got the Blue Stars collection. This is slightly more whimsical than I would have normally went for, but I thought they were really sweet, and this is a blue that I don't get to work with often because it's just not one that's really commonly available. But I think even with the snowflake on the back of this one, I could try and make a Christmas card out of this and have a blue Christmas sort of project. So anyway, there's large images for focal points, lots of textural pages and typography, and of course those sweet little gypsy fairies. Here's stars. I think that's really cute. And they're all very vintagey and worn looking and rustic. So here's that smaller cut apart page with some fun sentiments. So I picked up a couple of mixed media items, not so many, but I did need some more picket fence spray because I like to use this to make my dots and splatters for my cards. And then this is a Bow Bunny glitter paste. I've used this before when I worked for Bow Bunny. I designed for them for a few years. And this is different than like Stickles in that it stays kind of dimensional. So it will add a texture instead of just leveling off like Stickles does. This is a silver. So I think that will be a nice addition to my Halloween projects. And then I also picked up ice resin in onyx. And I had this from my previous design team haul from them in the antique gold, and I absolutely love it. So this will be kind of like a chunky glitter, glass glitter effect, and that will be nice. I also have a couple of charms, and I get a lot of questions about where I get my charms. Of course, you want to get them from the Funkie Junkie boutique, and they take such nice care to wrap them carefully in these little glassine bags so that they come perfectly organized and they don't get into a big jumbled mess. But these are beautiful leaves. She carries a lot of bronzy colored ones as well as like the silver. And then each one, I said, is wrapped up so nicely so that you can have them all separated. This is hats that I picked up, some witches hats for my Halloween projects. I didn't look at these yet, but I thought they were really cool online. Some keys, and they're like a verdigris sort of finish on them, so they look like they've just got a little bit of lime rust on them. They're really pretty color. And then a couple of pumpkins here. These are really dimensional, and they have leaves on top as well. And I've been enjoying this darker metallic shade a little more lately, so I'm gonna be using these for my fall projects. I've been collecting my Funkie Junkie boutique charms on this large ring. This was a Graphic 45 ring, I believe, and I just picked up some little clear bags from Hobby Lobby and punched a hole in the top of them so that I could just flip through and see which one I like. She always includes a little thoughtful gift with purchase. This is the one I got for this set. I'm going to open it here. And a business card so that you have her website. This one I think has die cuts and a vintage image. This is a thoughtful little add-in. Well, of course I love that. Vintagey witch and a cauldron. So fun. These, I think, are the smoke coming out of the cauldron. Maybe I should check on her website. See what that does. And then some super cute little skeleton heads. They're little charms, little beads, I should say, for my projects. So that is all for my Funkie Junkie boutique haul for September and October. If you want to check out any of these items, I will link her shop in the description below. I don't want to link every single item because of the nature of maybe these are seasonal and you might not be able to find them if you go back and look later. So, but I will link her shop there so you can check it all out. And I will also leave links to my social media sites, and you can find us on Facebook and Instagram and our blog and our Etsy shop. So if you enjoyed this haul video, you make sure and give me a like, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. As always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.